Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel for some Path of Exile Ultimatum. So we're going to be doing a completely new Path of Exile player or beginner guide. If you guys have never played a Path of Exile before, this is definitely going to be the video for you, as it's going to basically hold your hand and walk you through all the gameplay mechanics and a bunch of different things, as this game is definitely tough to go ahead and walk in completely blind. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started. So first off, all you got to do is log in and create your character, as you guys will have, no characters. So what you're going to do at the start is make sure you have selected Ultimatum and not solo self-found. By default, this is going to be the new league. What you guys want to do is definitely play on the newer league. So you're going to go ahead and hop right in, and this again is going to be the default league, and basically this is where the new season is here. This is where the new content will actually be. So all you have to do is click OK, and now you have the decision of what class to select. Now, unlike a lot of other action RPGs or games in general, these classes are not going to be really locked to playing a very specific way, as in you see the character with a bow. That does not mean that you have to be using a bow for the entirety of your gameplay. Or if you see the guy with a hammer, that does not mean he is only going to be a guy with a giant hammer, which can only be melee. You can actually build really cool and interesting things in Path of Exile, unlike a lot of other games, which is one reason why I like this game so much. For example, you can play a Marauder and go into a Juggernaut and get lots and lots of accuracy, and then you can have a really cool build that normally like a bow character would not be able to stack accuracy necessarily as good as this one would be able to, because you can get some type of bonus with it, because every class, with the exception of the Scion, will have ascendancies. So once you reach a certain part in the game, you'll be able to select one of 3 ascendancies. Scion is one exception here. But what I want to do for you guys is provide you guys with a variety of playstyles to go ahead and choose from, and also giving you guys some gameplay to kind of show you guys the differences between some of the classes. So let's go ahead and just roll some gameplay in the background. So right here I'm doing a skill that's similar to a skill that you guys might be familiar with in Diablo called Whirlwind, right? So right here you don't have to select the Marauder to actually use Whirlwind. You could select any of the classes can use this, but one thing that I want to show you guys is just like a brief little gameplay example, so you guys can get kind of an idea on what to expect. Now, for all of these videos, I will have pinned in the comments the links to go ahead and view them. For if you want to play the Marauder and you want a full guide for that, by all means, check out that video. But since there is a new league, there is going to be a new mechanic in this video that will not be in that video, because this is the new update. Now, the update is going to be relatively minor in terms of like what you're going to be able to do that you couldn't do if you just watched those videos. But this way, you guys can kind of pick and choose what exactly you want to see. Now, if you want to play more of a ranged build, I've got an ice shot build for you guys. If you guys are more interested in playing a ranged build, you guys will be good to go. Now, keep in mind that these are going to be technically at a previous time, so certain numbers might be changed for some of the damage numbers, but a lot of things have been buffed and nerfed. But for the most part, you will be a-okay. Nothing is super unplayable to the point where, like, I would say, don't even follow this video. I wouldn't want to steer you guys in the wrong direction. But the thing is that when there is a new league, I like to try to test out some of the new skills, some of the newer things that might actually be bad. But I will give you guys a good starter guide in this video. It's going to be basically the first act, so you guys can get started and kind of see how the game plays out. But this is just an ice shot build. This one's very, very safe for any of you guys that like to sit further back and try to hit targets. But there is a new thing on the ascendancy of Deadeye, which lets you get these mirage archers that are basically clones of you that will also shoot out, which is really cool as well. But yeah, like I said, if you guys want to check out the ranger build, feel free to go ahead and check that out as well. And on top of that, we've also got a really interesting build if you guys want to play more of a spellcaster, or if you want to be a summoner, a NecroMancer. Although there are more ways to summon things than just like being a NecroMancer technically in Path of Exile. But this one is probably one of the most fun builds I have ever played. But just as a heads up, if you decide to go ahead and watch the playthrough of the Witch, which is going to be primarily a spellcaster, or there's like a Bane Pop Occultist, which is another really cool build that's very popular, I will also link that one down below as well. But just as a heads up though, with this build is in the campaign we hybrid out. We're basically going to be casting spells through like our wand attacks, and that's going to be our source of damage. But in addition to that, I'm also summoning a bunch of monsters to deal damage, and the monsters do respectable damage up until what you get towards the end game, which is going to be the maps. So pretty much with this build, you will kind of need to decide what you want to go. You can definitely try to hybrid out, but I would probably recommend you guys to try to stick with either being like a summoner necromancer, or if you want to be an elementalist, that's also a caster option, or if you want to be like a occultist, which kind of revolves around curses and other things. But for the most part, choose the one that you want, because this is a big part of Path of Exile that I think a lot of players don't touch upon when they go ahead and introduce people to the game. Now keep in mind, this game is very difficult, so you do need to watch a guide. Whether you decide to continue watching my video or someone else's, this game is rough. It's probably one of the most difficult games, I think, for most people. But once you learn it, you will definitely respect the game for its creativity and the stuff that you can do. But again, don't feel like you have to play those 3 classes just because those are the guides that I have for you. You can watch this video and definitely play any of the classes. My goal is to show you the in-game mechanics of Path of Exile, but character creation is something so important that a lot of people just don't take into consideration when they give off a new player guide. It's just kind of rough to give people 10 minutes of advice and say, here you go, hop into Path of Exile. So I'm going to try to hold your hand through the first act, and we'll get through it together. I'm going to go ahead and create a ranger, but by all means, create whatever class that you want to go ahead and create. And we're going to go get started, as long as the server lets us go through.
Not animals. Think on that, Ranger.
Okay, just as a heads up, Path of Exile servers, within the first week, it's a little bit rough. There are disconnects. There are times where the server will just not let you go through, and that's normal. And I want to keep this in the video because, you know, when a game first launches, things happen, right? Like, you know, you just can't log in, issues, whatever. I want you guys to know that I'm there with you, even as a content creator myself. We gotta wait in the queue sometimes. Even if you start logging in, sometimes there's gonna be a queue. That's normal for Path of Exile for pretty much the first few days or first few weeks, just because there's so many people on. But anyways, I'm gonna cut it to when we get into the actual game. Alright, so it looks like the servers are more so stable now. Let's go ahead and hop in and get some action in. Now, keep in mind, everything that I'm going to mention will be inside of the description box for whatever class that you want to play. But I do recommend to watch like this part of the first part. So because there is going to be a new league mechanic that we'll have to go over. So just as a heads up, I'll be skipping all the tutorials. I'll tell you exactly what the heck the tutorials do. But on top of that, any of the dialogue, feel free to listen in, pause if you are watching this kind of like side by side, throw it on another monitor. Again, the game is not easy and you need someone to hold your hand, but let's go ahead and hop right in. So basically, as soon as we eliminate the first enemy, now if you're playing another class, you'll get a different item, and that's totally fine. So we're going to go ahead and put this inside. So there's 2 types of gems. There is going to be like what I'm going to consider like the active gem, and then there's the support gem. So this is going to be an active gem. When we throw it on, we're going to have a new skill to use, and whatever you have bound to. My keybinds might be a little bit different than yours, and one thing I suggest going into, change all of your settings, whether it's graphics or your controls, the input settings for a lot of different things. Change them to what you want them to be. I recommend having one of your movement skills bound to a either left click, which makes it so you can left click and not attack, but just having one button bound to basically force move. And we're coming up to a little chest relatively soon, and we are going to get, actually we got an Orb of Og, so we'll be able to maybe use this relatively soon. I'm going to grab this iron hat, as it's going to auto-equip for us. So this is our first gem that's going to be what's considered a support gem. Important thing for learning this game, when you see where it says active skills, it says burning arrow, and it's got the check mark, that means this will work with this. See how there's this little like link? If I just put the burning arrow right here, these aren't linked, nor are they the correct color. So green goes into green, or there's technically white sockets that can go into anything. But if this is linked over here, you just put this in, and now it's going to pierce. However, it's going to have a cost. It's going to be the mana multiplier. So right now, our skill costs 5 mana. If I put this in, it's going to cost still 5 mana because it doesn't reach the threshold in like the rounding. But now that means it's going to pierce the targets. And depending on what you're doing in the game, you may not actually want pierced because you want to fork or chain, but this is something a little bit far later down the line we'll learn about, but right now it's worth using. And these are going to be our flasks. We pop them. The red one is going to grant us life. The blue one is going to grant us mana, which is on the right side. When your HP goes out, just like any other game, you're going to lose. Or die. Same thing, right? So this is Hillock. He's like the first boss, and he's actually pretty challenging compared to a lot of like other like first encounters. As once you start doing damage to him, he's going to pull out the sword and gain some HP. He's going to drop a bunch of stuff. And now we're going to go grab some items, and let's see if we got anything that's going to be a little bit better, a little bit of an upgrade here. But we're also live streaming this, so if I talk to the chat, don't worry. I'm not talking to myself. But how you doing, Riff? And how you doing, Bolt? All right, so yeah, so the PoE servers, we're having issues pretty much all day. Usually I have this video ready for you guys like the first day when it comes out. Although this right now we're in day 2. So you might see these blue items, and because this is a new player guide for everyone that's just starting out, items that are unidentified. The only game I think you can do this in is like Diablo 1, where like identifying things can be worse. But I'm going to identify all the things. Hopefully getting some increased movement speed could be a really good little option here. This helmet is actually going to be a little bit nice because it has 2 links, and it could be better to swap out our bow relatively soon, if possible. So evasion is going to grant you the chance to just not take damage. Armor is going to be damage reduction. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get a reward, so we can get split arrow, ice shot, frost blades, galvanic arrow, or we can get caustic arrow. I like ice shot. It's super easy to scale. If you want to select a different one, hey, again, I encourage you guys to play around with it. The first time you play with PoE, it's all about experimentation. And so that's one thing that I definitely like to do. And if you get items that you don't want, you can sell them. And don't worry about identifying every single item in the very beginning because it's usually not worth it. But right now over here, we'll be getting these scroll fragments. Once we get 5 of them, they become a scroll of wisdom. So it's like a scroll of identity if you play Diablo, but just a way for us to get extra currency in the very beginning. It's okay. Now, every time you level up, you also get a skill point or a passive point. I know the skill tree seems super overwhelming, but depending on what class you select, you'll start off on different areas. For me, if you guys are going to be copying this build, I would probably recommend you guys to go ahead and grant yourself this life and go along this path. And what we're going to do is get this these 2. One of them is going to increase your physical to, it's going to be conversion. You say we have 20%, 20%, and this already converts what, 60%, right, with ice shot. And if I have a mouse over it, it's 60%. And then this basically converts 100% of cold to, or physical to cold. But I actually like to go a more dangerous route, but it's going to lead up to the same spot. So basically, we're going to go, we can actually go over here too. That's totally fine. But I want to get Heart of Oak because I like the regen early on. So also granting us the extra attack speed because it makes the game feel better. So I'm going to go ahead and actually put 1 point into here. But if you want for more survivability and for non-respecking, because you can take out your skill points and refund them later, but it's just more valuable to do it, at the start. But I'm gonna go for more damage. If you want more health, you can go this route. But if you're new to the game, I'll probably recommend you guys to go to this route. But we're gonna meet up right here anyway, so we're just gonna go down here versus over here. And technically, this way will also let you get this one faster. But I want the extra attack speed because I feel like the game feels better with just a little bit more attack speed. But anyways, let's go ahead and continue on. So we're not necessarily doing new build guide right now. It's going to be ice shot, which is consistent until we get to the new skills. So this is where it's completely new. I've never done this, and we're going to do it together. So we have less than reach. Players have 50% less area effect and projectile speed. Patches of unhallowed ground will appear that hinder players and cause slain monsters to resurrect phantasms. A cloud deals chaos damage over time will follow you. Okay, so since we're going to be highly mobile, I think this will be okay. So this is our reward if we do this. This is the new mechanic for the Ultimatum. So we're going to go ahead and... oh, wow, that's actually really tough. Oh. That's insanely tough. Sometimes the league mechanic is so hard in the very beginning that people just simply don't engage in it. And this could be one of those where early on, it's going to be rough for some people. And again, Path of Exile is not an easy game at all. Okay, I'm going to go risk. We're going to keep on risking. So, how this mechanic works, I already know how it works, like I read and watch. So, we can either take this as a reward, which is like, this realistically is good for cold resist, and that's basically about it. But we can get Orb of Chance. I want to defeat another wave, which will probably kill me, to be honest, because it's, let's see, up here, hinder players. Okay, I'll do this one. So I can see that. Doesn't seem too bad right now. Maybe focusing in on the ranged targets would be better earlier on. Ooh, nice. So we can keep on going. Now, this item doesn't even help me at all, so I'm going to go ahead and accept this as our rewards. Oh, so you don't even get... Oh, you get the helmet too, okay. I was wondering, like, do you still get the previous reward? I was assuming you did.
The future holds further challenges.
But do I have... okay, let's get rid of this. Okay, so it's just giving us, like, achievements or something. There are achievements, and there are free microtransactions, things that you will get as well. But right now, like, this helmet is actually really good for the cold resist because the first, like, one of the end Act 1 bosses is going to actually deal a massive amount of cold damage. But for now, I really wanted that augmentation. But another thing, your gems will level up, and this is going to increase like the damage of them. Actually, let me just kill this guy, and I will show you kind of like the differences. So if we go ahead and mouse over it, it'll tell us what it does for the next level, what the requirements are. It pretty much just increases the damage, but the mana cost could go up. 99% of the time, unless you know what you're doing, it's really... The only thing we're going to really do is, like, maybe with a cast when damage taken where we won't want to level the gem up, but pretty much just level up all your gems in the very beginning. There are certain times where you don't want to level up a gem, and that's because you want to reach a very specific number on things. And we'll actually use the AUG over here, just so I can go ahead and give you guys an example of, like, some of these newer things. So these are different forms of currency in the game. So this is going to upgrade a normal item to a random rarity. It can go anywhere. It could be a legendary, a unique with this, but chances of that probably pretty slim. I'm just trying to show you guys this as an example, what these do, because everything in this game, there's no gold. What the currency is things that modify items are considered money. So we're gonna go ahead and slam this in here, and this is going to be better than this. Okay, cool. We got increased a little bit of life. It's like, should I use that on that? Probably not, but I'm just trying to show you guys examples. I'm teaching you guys the game. Ideally, we eventually get some boots with movement speed. We're going to be getting a Quicksilver Flask relatively soon, and that will increase our movement speed. So we're going to look for this medicine chest. We're going to go grab this iron ring, but I want the attack speed as quickly as possible. The reason why is I just don't like attacking slow in a game, especially in the very beginning, because a lot of the stats on like +2 whatever, they're just not going to roll that high on specifically attack speed, with the exception of some uniques, which I'll also link some great uniques in the very beginning that you guys can pick up via trading. And we'll get into trading, we'll get into everything with this game, although I do want that medicine chest quest. I actually have to go back. But yeah, you can kill some things on the way over here. This is a superior one over here. So there's something to increase the quality of the weapons. And what that allows us to do is see the difference. So a quality one, where's the quality one? It has 5 to 14. We get just a little bit more damage off it. Am I going to swap it? You betcha. I mean, it's small, but hey, it all adds up. And the iron ring, actually, this will be a good thing. Let's go ahead and eliminate this. Like elite over here. But eye shot's really nice because behind them it shoots like a cone when it hits them. Oh, we got a crude bow. Let's see if this one could be better. We don't really need this. Some of these things, yeah, we could sell it in town, but I'll get cluttered eventually with a bunch of stuff. So what I want to pick up are, actually, we can grab the, where's the bow? Let's see if the bow is going to be any better than what we have. Oh, here we go. This is actually going to be okay. It's going to increase our dexterity and add some fire damage. Nice. you can get a bunch of things with superior quality and basically get certain items. We'll talk more about that like later down the line. But things can go up to 20% in quality, which generally increases, like if it's got like evasion, it'll add evasion. If it's got armor, it'll add armor. But one thing I will do, because rings aren't the easiest to come by in the very beginning, is we'll upgrade to a random rarity and we get +9 evasion. It's like whatever. Usually I like to get essences, which are another form of modifying an item just to make it like yellow with a very specific modifier over here. So this should be, let's see, mud flats. What I want to do is travel to the Tidal Island for the Mercy mission. The reason why is because you get a gem off of it, and you start being able to move a little bit faster with some mobility, which we'll see very, very soon. So I recommend doing this quest. This one's optional. There are a few quests that I will say you like have to do because they grant you a skill point. Like you want skill points in the game, just like you would want in any action RPG. But depending on what class you decide to select, at this point, I've shown off the new mechanic. You know, you can feel free, honestly, at this point, to go and watch the class build that you want to play. The only thing that really this video is going to be that is really important is to show you guys the mechanic for this league. But if you happen to want to play iShot, stick around for this one. If not, if you're playing the melee build, I really recommend you guys just to watch the melee one. Or if you're playing like the summoner with the casting. At this point, I've shown you the ultimatum. That's the only difference, which is when you go to the thing and you take the risk/reward. That's the big change. But by all means, feel free to hang out. Hello, Mickey. How you doing? Thanks for your help with PoE. Without your help, you'd be a total bot. Hey, you're welcome, man. I always thought, because the reason why is one of my friends, she wanted to get into PoE, and like, I was like, just follow a guide, and she was like, well, which one do you recommend? And then like, I realized I recommended some videos that were still like, they're like, okay, you gotta download Path of Building, and like, it's rough, honestly, for a new player to come into PoE. Because the tutorial, it does show you stuff, but it's rough. And a lot of people have actually mentioned that. They're like, thank you so much for your guides that are several hours long, because the game doesn't really show you, you know, how to do certain things. And right now, we can actually town portal out, and I'm pretty sure we grabbed the waypoint. However, I will show you guys a mechanic to save town portals, and it only matters in the very beginning. However, I will not be doing that mechanic right now because of server's instability. As in, I don't know if the servers will have issues, if that makes any sense. So we now have the waypoint. Normally, if you want to like get back to town for free, you could just go to character selection and reload your character, and it'll port you right back into town, saving you a town portal. And also, it sometimes can be faster depending on how fast your computer is. But right now, because of server queue times, I'm not risking it. But this is what you want. You want the Quicksilver Flask. And we can also get Volley support, we can get Mirage Archer support, or we can get Onslaught. I really like Mirage Archer, and I'll show you how awesome this skill is. It's one of the coolest things ever. We don't really need the Pierce support right now. I still want to level it up because there's something else that we can get with it. But also, if you want to purchase gems or trade gems, you can do that as well. You'll see the ones that we have access to right now. So Volley can, you know what, do we have a currency? Oh, it's just 1 scroll wisdom. I actually really like having Onslaught as well, but we don't have enough to buy it, so I'm just going to get rid of, like, if I got rid of this, I can get Alk Shards, which can be okay too. I don't really need the colors on that one. I'm just going to get rid of, actually, this could be definitely used, so we'll keep that. I don't really care about Burning Arrow. Totally fine. So you also have a stash. Your stash space will look a little bit different because like I've purchased some of these. There's no pay to win, by the way, in the game in terms of the microtransactions, but you can buy more stash space. Do you actually need it to play? Absolutely not. If we clear the feeded pool, we will be able to get a respec point. We're not going to actually do that. The important quest I will link down below for Act 1. But let's go ahead and just continue on. Now we have a new flask. What this flask allows us to do is when we pop it, we're going to move a little bit faster. Am I going to play PoE all day? Dude, I wanted to play this game so bad when it came out. Like, you know, I was ready. I was ready to play, you know, as soon as it came out, but unfortunately the servers have issues. And like I said, I wanted to put that in the video, that, like, you know, the servers are having issues, because it's realistic, and, you know, I want people to have, you know, the same experience that I do. So now, okay, Mirage Archer, instead of the Pierce support, we got this, and what this does is, if I shoot, it's going to shoot for me. Oh, nice! We got a essence. So what are the modifiers? Unhallowed ground, that hinders players. Runes will appear that will call deadly lightning storms if you remain in them. Okay, well this one should be pretty easy. Ooh, this one's hitting pretty hard. That's why I recommend getting the life in the very beginning. Alright, but you can see now... Ooh, okay, so I want that for sure. Ooh, this could be... We get extra armor. Honestly, it doesn't do too much. I really want this reward because the essence is like... It's nice to get these in the very beginning. I want to try to ideally get another iron ring, and it's going to convert it to a rare one with a ring of +2 energy shield. The rest of the stats don't really matter. It's just that, like, getting a yellow item in the very beginning can be kind of nice. In fact, we can maybe just do it on this chest. But basically, all I'm looking for is just any ring. Ideally, one that is a iron ring, because it grants me plus damage. But I'm just going the more risky route. Again, recommend you guys, if you're new, go this route. We'll meet up very soon. But hello, Trapped. How you doing, man? Yeah, PoE. I know the servers are back up. I'm excited. I know it's like right now at the moment it's like it was almost 6 a.m. and I'm like, all right, guys, ready to play some PoE. But if you are watching this YouTube and you have any questions, definitely comment down below, or you can come by live stream and I'll help you out. Oh, what's up, Trigger? You got a ghost? Nice, dude. Those are probably quite rare. I don't know what the ratio is for that. Alright, so for this quest over here, it's called Breaking Some Eggs. We got to go to where there's these exclamation marks, and we have to pick up these little seashells. And once we get enough of them,
my mana is gone.
Something cool will happen. And there's like one more that we gotta collect, and it's gonna be like way over to the side. Maybe down here. This is where you can enter if you want to do the quest. In fact, I would recommend most of you guys to probably do all the quests in the game, just because, like, it's your first time playing. There are some rewards, but I'll go over the rewards that matter and the ones that you want to do for like the PlayStation play session, not PlayStation, play session, as it's definitely something that is important. Like the skill quests and quests that will give you, like, the Quicksilver Flask is so dang good, like in the very beginning. It's gonna be super helpful. Hopefully we can get a like a 4-link relatively soon, and you can by the end of Act 1. You get like 1 or 2 orbs of alchemy, which is a thing that modifies items. And a lot of times in the very beginning, I recommend you guys to spend your currency on buying an item via trading versus actually just trying to modify the item and hoping that you'll get it yourself. But yeah, this Mirage Archer thing is so dang good. It is so awesome. But later down the line, our build is going to be super, super fast, and what we'll be able to do... Oh, there's an Orb of Alchemy. We already got an item that will be kind of worth something. But later we're going to be able to get multiples of these, and they don't even have to be attached to us, which can kind of help for, like, range. You know, you can off-screen eliminate targets too, so that's really good. Alright, so we should be coming up to get another skill point. I'm going to get more attack speed. Like I said, it's a pet peeve of mine to not have attack speed in the very beginning of any action RPG, so I prioritize getting that ASAP. So, oh, here we go. They rotate the map sometimes to kind of change up how it feels, but once you collect all the little seashells, you put them in here. I believe it's 3, and then we're going to go ahead and go to the Submerged Passage. And the important quests on Act 1 are going to be Dweller in the Deep and the Marooned Mariner, and those are going to both grant us some skill points, and it'll be nice. So let's go and pop the Quicksilver Flask. We're going to go fast. But if we could have Pierce support, it wouldn't be that bad. You'll see that I'm like leveling up other gems, which is totally fine to do. There's no downside to having gems in all your things. Play the things that you want to actually run with. we get a scroll of wisdom. Should we use it on this?
This should be quick.
Okay, let's go ahead and see what this offers us. As this is, oh, this is right now. We need this for our sockets, but we can. Oh, this is, yeah, that's 3 linked. Okay, so go ahead and eliminate this Strider over here and pop a heal. Oh, also your flasks. These do not recharge over time like in other action RPGs. They actually recharge over killing monsters. So this one grants us plus 11 to int. And oh, by the way, what do the main stats do in this? So you have intelligence, which grants you mana and energy shield, strength, which grants you life and melee physical damage, although you can convert that into bow as well via the skill tree. Also with dexterity is accuracy and evasion. A lot of builds, specifically with Ranger and going Deadeye, you can start stacking insane amounts of dexterity for massive amounts of extra damage. So that's going to be something that we'll be taking into consideration, but it's way later down the line we're going to worry about this. So this grants us strength, armor, maximum energy shield. It's going to be way better than the 11 intelligence, and I'm going to swap this into this, so we still have our skill, and you don't have to put your skill in there. I'm just going to swap it to this. And by the way, with this game, you can swap the look of your character. Now, this is I'm just going to show you guys this over here. So this is the microtransaction shop. I can change, if I want to, I can change how my character looks. This does not affect gameplay at all. This is like what the game does to support itself. And I think this game is definitely, I supported the game. But again, this is just looks. It doesn't actually change gameplay at all. So anyways, let's see what we can get. We can get a helmet that grants us armor, max life. You had me at max life. That's all you needed. Let's go ahead and get this. I like that one. 50% of mana cost as lightning damage. Okay, this one was really easy. So depending on what class that you're playing, you'd also factor in, like, maybe which one's going to be more difficult. Because the cloud doesn't matter to me if I'm playing a ranged build, right? Movement speed, max life. I'm down to go for another... an overall shade stocks you inflicting for the remainder of the encounter, damage taken slowly will increase by up to 50% more damage. Oh, I'm down with the other cloud that follows us. That one's really easy. Like, we got more clouds now. I like the idea of risk and reward, because you know what's gonna happen is we're gonna die, because I'm going to be like, yeah, let's get this item. I always like taking the risk, unless the item is completely useless to us, right? But I'm also thinking now that, like, maybe I just keep on taking the risk to see how good the item is. Ooh, fizz damage. Actually, ooh, increased. This one was a little bit deadly. I'm going to keep on going. I'm going to push. Should I do this? No. Oh, whoa. Oh, no. I'm taking so much damage. Because that cloud just did so much. Okay, this is where I would say, yeah, it's got a little deadly. But that's what makes it exciting, for me at least, personally. Oh, there's more? I thought that was going to be it. Woo! 4 of them? Dude, that's so good. I know when to stop, even though I want to go. It's too much to lose. Oh, that thing, like I said, is pretty dang good. And we got a gem. Now, some gems will require you to use a very specific thing. This granted us 7 life. Oh, okay. And then we've got that new helm that grants us just granted life, and that's really important for us. And we're good. And let's go ahead and continue. If it was 3 linked of 3 greens, I would 100% take that, and we'd start leveling. Let's level up this if I can. Right now, what is this in? Pure support. Yeah, I'm still leveling these up. But this is why I love Path of Exile. I feel like they know how to keep the game entertaining. New build. Oh yeah, we're definitely going to be trying out all of the new skills. Although if you're watching this video on YouTube, I would stick with just playing it safe and kind of following the ice shot build that does work. And I'll show you guys other websites also to give you kind of a reference. But right now we're kind of just moving along over here and just getting things done. Leveling up, going through the act. But the game will get way faster. Like, we will be shooting 1 arrow and everything will pop. Let's get that Herald of Ice and enough damage. And we'll go ahead and grab this flask. And be on the lookout for the colors of the items. If you have a red, green, and blue linked, you can actually convert it into what's called a chromatic orb, which we'll probably be able to show off eventually here. And in the very beginning, you definitely want to pick up all the portal scrolls too. And all the scrolls of wisdoms, because you want to identify yourself. And like early on in a lot of action RPGs, you're basically getting by with like very little things. But I'm going to keep all of actually, this could be okay. I'm just going to sell all of those. And we'll come up to a waypoint relatively soon anyways. Hopefully we can get a 3 link pretty soon. And we're going to be continuously leveling up those gems. I wanted to open up that chest. There we go. Is that a... Oh, okay. That wasn't fully linked. I don't even know if my loot filter is on. I actually didn't even throw on a loot filter. We'll talk more about that maybe like later in the video. But if you want to download a loot filter so certain items don't appear, you can definitely do it. But for first time playing through the game, I just kind of like being able to see the items, and I think it's a good way to kind of learn. Go grab this silver coin. I don't even know if I have loot filter even applied. Because I definitely have some audio sounds for different items, but this will be okay though, because it's more of a realistic experience. Because one thing I noticed going back to my the thing I was talking about is like earlier on when people play this game, a lot of times people will be like, all right, we're using this loot filter, we're doing all this, and it just is overwhelming for newer players to be like, okay, I have to go to this website, download this trade filter, and I have to or this filter for being able to show off the items, and it's just a lot of what I would consider too overwhelming. That's why for newer player guides, I just start on, I hop right into the gameplay, and I let you guys kind of experience the game. And I think that's the best way, personally, to learn in the game. But yeah, we'll go straight down here, as I really like having Heart of Oak, just for life regen, which is nice to have. So now we can get Shrapnel Ballista, we can get Riposte, we can get Puncture over here, which is a new skill, or Bear Trap. Choose the one that you want. I want to go with this one because we can actually make some use out of it right now. So what I can do is I can throw in these gloves. We'll go put the Shrapnel Ballista here because it's a new skill, and then we can also see what it works with. Right now we got the Eye Shot Track Mark and the Shrapnel Ballista. Now, if these are linked, Shrapnel Ballista will now pierce targets. Farewell. And I'm going to bound Shrapnel Ballista to what I have to be W. So we'll go ahead and do that. And also, you can always go to purchase if you want it to, like, for example, I really want this Iron Ring because I don't think there's going to be ones. Yeah, they're all going to be pretty much the same. Sometimes you can get different numbers on certain things, but I'm pretty sure it's just 1 to 4 on all Iron Rings. What do we have for scrolls? We have 7. Okay, so I'm going to pick up one of these, and then I'm going to use this essence on it. So sometimes you'll see these monsters that are frozen. If you click on it, it'll basically drop an essence. It'll tell you which one you're getting. This one, unfortunately, doesn't really help us out too much. The only thing that'd be good with us, honestly, is a quiver. Let's see if I don't think she'll have them, but let me see if we can get a quiver, because that would actually be not too bad if I can get a quiver. Oh, we have a quiver. We don't have any room. In this game, you have to go to sell items, and then you throw them in here, and then that's how it kind of works. But we'll go ahead and throw these in here, as I don't need these anymore, and we'll get some like little forms of currency to basically modify items. Now we're gonna go purchase items. I'm going to pick up that quiver, because now this actually works with the quiver, because on the quiver we have increased elemental damage with attack skills, which can actually help us out. So now we got extra 1-2 physical, we got increased crit strike chance with bows, and critical strike multiplier, cold resist, and of course, it's going to guarantee that elemental damage. That was actually pretty good. I still want this ring though, and I don't know. Let's see if we can get a Jade Amulet. That'd be nice. Okay, so one that has plus 30 to Dex will be nice. We'll go ahead and pick up that, and bam, we have extra Dexterity here. So that'll be awesome. We also have this Orb of Alchemy. I'm going to actually use this to buy something later. But now we have a new skill to play around with, and we will show you what the new skill is. And we will come up pretty soon to, I believe it's in Submerged Passage, for the Dweller in the Deep. We're going to actually go, sometimes you can go back and forth. So this is an important quest. Now that we have our Quicksilver Flask, we can just kind of zoom by. What we're looking for is a very specific area. So not all areas in this game will lead to like one exit. go ahead and throw the shrapnel ballista down. You'll see over in the top left how many we have, and you'll see them shoot. It's like a little shotgun. I like the one that's a longer range one. There's several forms of ballistae. I think that's a plural of ballista. But here, we're gonna go over here. We'll fight like kind of a little boss. He's gonna be pretty easy. But yeah, we'll go ahead and get him down. But yeah, I really like having the turrets in the very beginning. It just really helps out. Especially because this league mechanic, like, it wants you to move, right? And since we're not playing melee, it's going to be a lot easier. I feel like melee can be rough for some people in the very beginning. Like, you'll die to, let's say, a boss mechanic. And it is rough, especially when you compare it to other games on the market. But I kind of like that. That Path of Exile is not, like, a cakewalk. Which I feel like this day and age, a lot of games are so easy. They pop up with a giant thing on screen, press X to attack. I mean, there is kind of a tutorial, although I skipped out on it. I do like that you have to respect the game in terms of like difficulty. Like, I would say it's at a very good spot in terms of how difficult the game is. It is really rough towards the very end on your first try.
3 rounds this time.
Oh, dang, look at that. He's being a little cheeky. All right, so let's go ahead and select a new modifier. So one thing that's really nice about anything that puts down what's considered a totem over here is like you can throw these down right before. We can have 3 maximum right now, but you can increase that with special items and stuff later down the line. Resurrect is phantasms. Fail on reaching 7 ruin. Okay.
Night's madness drains away all hope.
Oh, so there's like these little like chains on these enemies. Okay. Oh, we gotta fill up that bar. Oh, okay. I didn't even see that bar before. I thought it was just whatever was on screen. We just gotta kill those. Movement speed. That's what I really want. Right now, like this, if I lose this, I don't even care. So I'm just gonna go as high as possible on this. So we're gonna go ahead and, let's see. Monsters gain 2.5% increased attack speed. Oh, that could be pretty good. Frozen pulses will appear and explode on you when they approach. Okay. Let's see how hard we can make these things, too. I'm kind of curious to see how insane these can get. Oh, that was pretty easy. None of these I care about at all. Like, I'm just going to keep on... I feel like the next 2 will probably end up killing me.
Vapors seek the living.
Ooh, taking a lot of... Oh, it's that cloud that I put down. Oh, if you can't leave the circle too. That makes sense anyways. This one's pretty tough, to be honest. I might just take the rewards. Unless the next item is like super good. Oh, it's a boss too? Oh, okay. Oh, that's gonna blow up. Oh, I can't move. Oh, that was close. Okay, we ripped. Okay, so if you rip, no biggie. Actually, we're just gonna go and continue. Some of the league mechanic, again, in the very beginning, like, it's totally fine if you die on it, because, one, I didn't really care for any of those rewards, so I just kept on going to see how high we can really go. But if you fail it, I don't even know if you get any loot. So I'm guessing you get some of the loot from what you've killed, but not the actual, like, loot. Okay, so, see how this one is linked as in it's green, blue, and red all together. What this allows us to do is trade it for a chromatic ore, which can randomize the colors on the gems that we can socket inside of the item. So that's it's a small form of currency that we will definitely be using. Like, pretty much all the currency in the entirety of the gameplay will show off how to use, with the exception of very expensive ones that are super rare. Like, there's a mirror that can copy an item, essentially, making an imprint of it, which is really awesome. Okay, so here's what I have to do. This is the boss. Like, this boss is going to be a lot easier than what we just fought, because a lot of times with the earlier league mechanic, you're not intended to go that far with it. I don't think there's any way that this could be better than ours, because it's just global accuracy rating. But just looking at some of the links, if there is like a 3 link that is going to be able to be suited for us, we can go ahead and go for that. So I'm going to use the town portal for once. Portal scroll. You click on it, you go back. It's pretty self-explanatory, but that's the first time I think we've done it. Normally, in the very beginning, I always recommend you guys, if you're playing this maybe like a week later or watching this video, just log out, log back in, if your computer's fast enough, and you'll save yourself a portal scroll. But now that we completed that quest, which again are going to be Marauder and Dweller in the Deep, granting us a skill point. Now we got 2 extra skill points, and we can go ahead and grab that, and we will grab this for the extra attack speed, because I like to go fast in the very beginning. You can also technically go down here and it'd be faster, but I just really want all this extra attack speed, just because I like the way that the game feels with another 16, because like you get another 4 here, but I like doing it this way. In the beginning, we'll end up respecking to match up with this, because it's usually going to be more efficient towards the end. But yeah, let's go ahead and continue with our new skill. Actually, I think we can get, let me actually double check on this. You can go and get a skill that, let's see, actually go purchase items. I think if we check the vendors too, sometimes they can have items that will be good enough for us to grab. Let's see, I just want some extra movement speed if possible. Max life. But if you look for anything, sometimes you can find items like this one's 3 link, but it's not the colors that we want. But going over, speaking of colors that we want, if I sell this, we'll get a chromatic that randomizes the colors of the sockets on an item.
Stay sharp out there.
Which is very helpful.
Yes.
We can go to purchase items, and actually, let's see. Okay, we can get dash. This is something I actually want to grab, and it'll be actually very useful. And you can come back here once in a while, like there will be upgrades that you can actually get. Let's see if there's anything, because sometimes like they change when you can get things. This thing is actually really good too. Steel skin, I'm actually going to see if we can get that. We already have ice arrow. Steel skin is very, very nice to have. I like it with cast when damage taken.
Goodbye.
So I don't even have to go for it. Pretty much the lowest. We need to get more scroll fragments. Since this is going to be a melee skill, I can't really use it, and I don't need this. I can go ahead and grab 2 of these, and then I'll have a scroll.
Hello.
And then I'll go ahead and purchase that item. Or is this? Where's steel skin? Oh, well, you know what we need for this? We need 20 strength. So this we might need an item to get. I'll just go ahead and grab it now anyways.
God hasn't abandoned us.
But we will be able to use this later. And I want dash on something. I can forego... Actually, I don't even have to forego anything. We can just throw it right here, and now we'll have dash. And I'm going to put dash on W and this on E. There we go. And we will continue. But like I said, the dirty job gives you a respec, which means it lets you unspec your points out of your skill tree. But don't feel like that's the only way to get it. But now with dash, we can just kind of move a little bit faster. It's really nice. And the game will just feel a little bit better when we're able to dash around. I love it. Pretty much you just spam it the whole time. So now we can kind of do things a little bit faster.
My mana is gone.
You know, I'm gonna put this on right click, and then I'm gonna put this on E. But it's gonna cost us mana, which is obvious. Well, that guy actually hits pretty hard. Let's go ahead and get him down. There we go. Grab this. Alright, we'll keep on continuing. Ooh, portal scroll, not bad. But yeah, we'll get the first act done, and this way you guys can learn how a bunch of this stuff works. But some of this is just going to be like, you know, we're just killing stuff, moving. But pretty much, there are some areas that are considered like side areas. Like right now we're in like the ledge, and it can lead, like some areas will lead you into other areas. And if there's any other skill, I recommend picking up every single gem just to try out the skill, because you might like a skill and you're like, oh, I want to go melee now. Hey, that's cool. That's a good feeling. So Cobra Lash is a projectile up here. Let me see if I can throw it in something. I don't really need volley support right now, but you'll see that some of these won't work unless I have a very specific weapon. And when I have a claw or something, I will show you guys like as many skills as I possibly can. Because that's the point of Path of Exile, is finding the skill that you like, because a lot of times you might not like the skill that the guy's playing with, right? And like the point is to show you guys how to play the game, not necessarily like a one by one. Oh, these are going to be good. We got some boots here. We don't need these necessarily right now. I don't really need the Pierce, but just for like any other support can be really nice. Oh, okay, this is good. So let's go ahead and put in our skill point. We'll get finesse, so we can get extra attack speed, extra accuracy, more dex. A invulnerable tournament will appear that imbues both its allies and enemies with speed and powerful physical damage benefit, but causes enemies to take 10% of their maximum life and energy shield. That is terrible. I would not want that. Skulls will appear that spit fire if you remain near them. Because I'm very, very mobile right now, I think I'm okay with going for any of those. Okay, so I want that for sure. This isn't really that great, but I'm going to go ahead and pick it up. I don't really care if there's things that spit fire. But I'm worried that maybe if I juice up some of these too much, like just one, if I accidentally make one mistake, it's going to hit me for so much damage. Still, this is nothing good. I'm just going to take these rewards and go.
As disappointing as it is.
Because like the rewards just weren't good enough. Obviously, yeah, we can keep on going higher, but that's just going to like make it take a little bit longer. I'll like to like 1 or 2. Depending on, you know, how I'm feeling. But those things did kind of hit a little hard. But it's just that I wasn't really interested in the reward. I wish you could see maybe one further into it. That'd be kind of cool. Like that, the next reward. So that will make the player be like, okay, I want to take this giant risk, right? Oh, we have another. There's a lot of these ultimatums. Like I think it's going to be one in every era. That's usually how it works. Ooh, okay. This one adds mana on kill. That's great. Extra 100 accuracy, 10 dex, and then our current one adds like 2 damage modifiers. The extra crit strike chance is like it's just so small. Extra LE can be okay, but I'd rather have the extra 100 accuracy because right now, in terms of accuracy. Let's see, via our skill. One thing, my face is kind of blocking, but you just click on the skill and it'll show you like all the first one's going to be like damage per second. Actually, I can just do this. Let's move this. So this way you guys can see what I'm talking about, like all of these things, right? You can click on it. So you can see the accuracy rating, 283. That other one is going to be very, very nice. Not that we don't have a good chance to hit. Like our chance to hit is already 100%, but it's totally fine to get an extra like 100 is not going to be like a bad stat to invest into as we can start scaling it later. Yeah, that's runes will appear that call. Okay, if I remain in anything, sure. I'm totally fine with those kinds of modifiers. Okay. All right, helm, life. I'm just going to take these rewards and leave. There we go. And we got that. Swap that in and out. And these boots over here are not too bad, to be honest, in the very beginning. So you can see which things it works on. So let's go ahead and actually throw these in. So I'm going to swap up what I was using before. And now when we use our ice shot, you see now we've got more arrows. So it's kind of like a multi-shot modifier on it. I think that will increase our damage by a little bit too. It's just going to make the mana cost go up, but that's okay. For right now, we're not running into problems with that. I think maybe summoning the Shrapnel Ballista right now is not really worth it. So pretty much what we're doing right now is just progressing. I got some extra shoes. I don't think these will be better than what we currently have. But this
That would only slow me down.
could be better. Because right now, the reason why I was using this before was literally just because it had like the correct sockets. Now we have extra 13 life. Hey, that's kind of cool. It's just a free little benefit. But remember, since that other thing grants us mana on kill, that's kind of cool. This is Navali over here. She's used with like the silver coins, which can be for a prophecy, which is kind of just like random like special things that you may encounter if you give her a silver coin.
I'm not up to that.
Well, that guy actually burns for a lot. So, oh, we got an iron ring that's a blue, and that can replace one of the current ones that we have. Heck, I'll take it. It's just free extra modifier.
Thank you.
And now you can see we're kind of running out of mana a little bit faster, but with the 2 flasks, it's not too bad.
There's no justice in a place like
And we can
this.
get better flasks
Only
later,
misery.
more mana regen, so don't worry about it at all. So, over here, there are going to be these certain, I have it written down like on the side over here. So, on the lower prison in Act 1, we're going to be doing a trial. Which, hey, we're in the lower prison. I'll show you guys this mechanic. Ooh, what's this one grant? Ooh, damage to attacks. All about it. I like this one.
Avoid the miasma.
I think this. Oh, I definitely, yeah, 100%. I don't even need to. I don't even need to see. I see essence. I'm like, I want it. And especially since we got a waypoint right here, because dying sometimes really sucks because you gotta spawn super far away. Ooh, we got it already. Mana on kill, attack speed. Oh shoot, you gave me another one. Yeah, let's go.
Vapors are inescapable.
But because we have such high mobility, it's making these ritual counters a lot easier. Ooh, what's next? You know what? I'm not going to risk it. There's just like there's too many good things off of this one to really risk it. So definitely love this. Love it. Extra cold damage. Remember, we're going cold right now. At least this we're dropping for. Wait, did we get 2 things it gave us? Oh, that gave us that too. That's increased attack speed. I wanted it for that, but also more damage, mana on kill. Like, we are really getting set up. So this on, where's it going to be? Armor, extra energy shields, like whatever. But because I want to use these boots more than likely for a little bit, it's going to be not too common to have, like, honestly on a quiver, this is like one of the same ones. I just want this to be like a little bit better because I'm going to keep this. But now we have a lot more mana. With both of these, we get another 22 and another 27. And a lot of these number values, if you hold Alt, you can see exactly what the minimum is and the maximum is. So see, ours is 27, and it can roll 20 to 30. We can roll that thing specifically later on. Path of Exiles, like, you can literally take the very beginner bow and use it till the end of the entire game, which I know it sounds crazy, but you can do it. You just have to modify it. Now, is it smart to do that? No, definitely not. But you can do it. Okay, so we're coming up to what is going to be the first trial. There's a bunch of these trials that we're going to have to do, and this is how we get our second, like, class evolution. So if you want to, you can listen to it, but whatever. I'm just going to close it. But basically, these are little puzzles that are moving puzzles. So pretty much with this one, as soon as the spikes go away, you want to go just start running. Now, you can use your mobility here too, as well. And we're going to go ahead and hit this lever. And it's going to open up this door. Wait for the spikes to go across. And then now we're going to go backwards. Now, what you want to do is, we got hit by it anyways, but you kind of want to time things right, but I'm just going to go tank the damage. Because I know it can take it. But if you're low on HP, be careful. No lapis amulet, okay. And there's this one's gonna be in a checkerboard pattern. So just, you know, checkerboard. Or like you can play, yeah, chess, checkers, any of those. We'll go and grab this. What is this? I don't think we really need this. And then you just touch this, it's gonna make a portal. Okay, here it is. And then it's gonna put you right back at the start. We're gonna have to do all these trials that we come across. I'm gonna go identify this and see what we get. Does this grant us life? Yeah, I'll take the damage reduction. Because, like, right now, our chance for evade, if we go to defense, we have 40% chance to evade, and our damage reduction is 20% now. If I was to remove this, I'm sorry my face is blocking it, but, like, I'll just tell you. This is damage reduction. We go from 10 to 19% damage reduction. So for our class, generally, we're going to be scaling evasion. So how it works is we just try not to take damage. Like, that's our form of damage reduction, is to not take damage. Versus armor builds are going to be taking all of the damage, but they have, like, damage reduction. And there's also energy shield. That's another form of a separate life pool. But it's pretty much, if you want to think of it, kind of like health. It just recharges in different ways, depending on what you're doing. But also the Mirage Archer also benefits off of all of the support gems. So like when we have like the little volley support, it's going to be doing it too. See? Awesome. It's a nice little start. It feels really good. And look how fast we're clearing out stuff now. I haven't even thrown down the totems. On the bosses, I'll try to put the totems down. Oh wait, this is a longbow. This could be a little upgrade.
That would only slow me down.
I don't really need this. I don't really need this. Some of the yellows I pick up earlier on. Oh, so this is a whetstone. What this does increases the quality. Remember how the quality of being 5% increased it from 5 to 13 to 5 to 14? That's all it really did. But anyways, we got a longbow. This could be more damage here, depending on what it rolls. Plus 1 to socket of bow gems. Oh, that's cool. Unfortunately, it's not 3-linked, though. It also grants us 9 to dexterity, but the damage numbers are so high on this, like in terms of like comparing this one, because this one grants us... I mean, this one grants us 12 dex too, but 1 to 4 fire damage does not make up for 6 to 25 versus the other one, if that makes any sense. So we'll just throw that one on the ground. But also, you got to look at the weapon's attacks per second. That can actually matter. Even if the damage number is higher, if it's attacking super slow, then you got to factor that in too. And all the things that increase like plus to like 1 damage to attacks, if your weapon is attacking much faster, you got to factor that in as well. But over here we have the Whispering Essence. If you want to look up what these do, but I recommend doing all the essences. Why? Because it's basically getting a rare item without using an alchemy for very cheap, and it guarantees you a modifier, which is awesome. There's probably very little chance that that thing is going to be worth using a scroll on. In the very beginning, scrolls kind of mean something. 2 alks? Oh my gosh! Yes! Each one of those alks is basically like a small little item that we can pick up off of a trade website. And we'll show you how to trade, definitely. I always participate in trade leagues, but if you don't want to trade, that's fine too. If you want to do everything like, you know, off of all the items you pick up, that's cool. I just want to take this right now because the other thing that doesn't really matter for me at all. And the alks are like so good that I will. In the very beginning, we can get like a brisk wrap. Maybe a Karui ward. I don't know what the prices of these items are, but they're very small items. Like these items aren't like super rare or anything. It's just they make our movement speed and attack speed faster, and I like it. Okay, we're seeing our first strong box. You can use your scroll of identities to do it, to do these, but I would say in the very beginning you're good to go. You don't need to worry about it until like pretty much later in the game. So now, yeah, we're working on that 100% conversion of fizz to coal. And then we can start scaling all the elemental scaling will be much better. Although right now I still want to keep the plus mana on kill because it's nice to have that, in my opinion. But yeah, just getting all the gems leveled up. I'm really excited about once we get the first ascendancy because basically instead of one of these clones, we get multiple of them, and they don't have to be tied to us, which means that like it's really nice for a lot of boss engagements. In fact, that's why I actually really like playing Ranger. Last league, I halfway made Ranger, and I was like, this is so fun. I want to do this for next league because I ended up rolling melee last league. Did like a Whirlwind Cyclone build. It was really fun. I liked it a lot. We're now coming up to the Warden's Quarter, so our first like boss over here as well. Like a more
Quite sure of yourself, aren't you, Huntress?
more difficult boss engagement. Actually, yeah, we go this way. Go right up. You'll see like a bunch of blood. And we just go right up there. And don't forget to click on the chests. They're definitely worth it. Like this chest over here dropped. Oh wait, no, these aren't linked. But if it was triple linked, then that would be another chromatic orb, which is nice. You can also destroy barrels if you want to, along the way. Although I generally find like the chests to be more worth it to open up. So if you want more lore and stuff, there's a lot of clickables, but obviously we're here just to go over the gameplay mechanics. Go ahead and throw these down. So one thing with the cage brute, you'll see these spikes that come up. Now, because I have these little shrapnel ballistas, it's got health too, and it's gonna start targeting those. So it makes it much easier to have like those attack for you, because those spikes won't always go by you. If you're playing melee, yeah, they're always gonna be on you. I'm sorry, it's just the way it works, man. But do we get anything cool? We got a large life flask.
Any wounded
Nice.
animal, Brutus.
That's all I really wanted over here. And so we can go ahead and identify it. So the flasks can also have modifiers as well. This one grants us increased amount recovered and increased charges used, and it also grants recovery to minions. Now, we don't... Actually, I don't know if these count as minions. I think they're counted as totems, but nonetheless, it doesn't really benefit us that much. Most minion builds, especially in the early on, won't really have too much of a problem with that. But then we got the Cage Brute. We can go ahead and go back to him. Since we just got a waypoint, yeah, let's go back to him. Let's get our reward. Get rid of some of the extra stuff we have in our stash. I'm so glad that the game hasn't kicked us back to the lobby. So we can get Precision over here. So it grants us extra Crit Strike Chance and extra Accuracy. I like to get this early on. We got Whirling Blades or Blink Arrow. I actually like, you can get basically both. And I'm going to show you guys the first reserved mana skill. So we're going to go ahead and grab that. And we can also, again, purchase and sell items. So let's go ahead and get rid of all these rings. Actually, we're going to keep the one that's white. The reason why is I can get an essence, throw it on there. Might RNG something better. Actually, I would rather just throw it on my amulet right now. It's going to be way more valuable. And what is our current one now? Extra fizz damage, flash charges, reflect. Fire resistance is actually pretty good early on. I mean, overall, I'd say the bell is pretty meh. Doesn't really matter, but I'll show you guys the difference. So right now, let's just do it like this to be easier. So right now we get 5 transmutations. We identify it. 13 alterations. You can get different results depending on like what the item is and if it's identified or not. But if we get move speed, oh, it rolled move speed, but I kind of need this. Like, well, honestly, anything with movement speed is really awesome, but unfortunately, I'm using this for the linkage, so I can't really make use out of that right now. I do want the movement speed though, but we can go ahead and purchase and get some more gems. We have lesser multiple projectiles, so we can get more of something. Right now, I would rather add the added cold damage support, and then this is something we'll also level up because remember we're kind of scaling cold. So instead of, let's see, where is it? The Shrapnel Ballista doing Pierce, we're going to have it do cold damage. Make sure, again, it has the check mark, otherwise it will not be benefiting us. I don't really feel like I'm going to really use Pierce at all, but whatever, we'll level it up. Just in case some of you guys like it, or it's not really bad to level up gems, because you can sell gems that are max level for some currency as well. Wouldn't mind, let's see, do we have a lot of Scrolls of Wisdom? Let's see what else we can get. Actually, getting these cold res rings can be good for an upcoming boss fight. I'm not going to really worry about it too much, though. But I do want to go ahead and see what this grants us on jewelry. Oh, okay, this is good. Extra fizz damage on attacks. Okay, sweet. This is contempt. So throw this on that. Bam, we get spell damage, not good. 1-2 physical. Extra mana regen, that's great. And life on hit, great. Overall, awesome. Actually, we should get rid of this too. Also, you can have a second weapon set like you can in Diablo 2, which is something I really love. I wish Diablo 3 had that, so you can like snapshot to certain abilities as well. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and continue on and finish off the act.
I'm not up to that just yet.
But now our Shrapnel Ballista will be a little bit stronger.
The single round challenger returns.
Don't feel like you have to do every one of these, by the way. You know what? I'm just gonna do the first 2 because I want to see. Eventually, I'll learn which ones do which. Like I'll just know from the icons to be like faster and more efficient. I'm just gonna take this and leave.
Choice.
I like it though. I like the idea of risk and reward. That's one thing I really liked with Heist, but I was not a fan of like getting the thing and planning. I like the idea of it. And so far, I would say Heist was honestly, I would say one of my favorite ideas in a mechanic of risk and reward without being in hardcore. Because I think it makes the game a little bit more exciting when you have something to lose. So I would say honestly, one of my favorite leagues is Legion. That was one where you guys might be able to see the Legion mechanic. Probably not anytime soon. But what it is you kill a bunch of enemies and they show you what the rewards are, but they're frozen in time. and then you fight them when they're not frozen. And depending on what you've killed, and you only have a certain amount of time, so you basically usually look for the ones that you want the items from, and you try to kill those as fast as possible, and then you kill them again, which is, I don't know, I like the idea of it. That's still probably one of my favorites, but honestly this one might be my favorite. The reason why I like it is because you don't have to enter a new zone. Some of the League mechanics, you'll enter a new zone, and I just don't like entering a new zone because it's just a lot of like waiting. Yeah, I could honestly see this being one of my favorites. It depends on the rewards too. I really did like Ritual as well, which was the last league that they did. Which you fight a bunch of like monsters, and then eventually there's let's go ahead and find this. There's a bunch of rewards that you can select from. Basically, you get like tokens. Like you kill monsters and you get, let's say, like 100 ritual tokens, and then you select what you want, and different rewards cost more than others. I think it's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and get another skill point. We're coming up to the increased cold damage, and these two nodes are going to be really big once we get both of those. And then we can actually get some more things for survivability. It's just I want to reach that threshold of getting all the conversion ASAP. Dr. Fairgrave's over here too. And we gotta find the old flame, which is technically also an optional quest, but it is going to grant us a skill point. The Maroon Mariner and Dweller of the Deep are the two quests that will grant the skill points.
I'm not up to that just yet.
But yeah, ooh, we got coat high gloves. Those have a we don't have anything. Yeah, our gloves aren't. We got them right. Okay, and let's see what this does. Okay, 10 life. This is granting us 7 life. It's a lot more evasion, like a lot more. Now, like our chance to evade is 51%, which is pretty good. And I'll keep that thing for later down the line. Okay, so this is one of those areas where there's multiple areas to go out of, and I want to do this because you get a skill point. It's worth doing. It's like if you guys have played Diablo 2. I always mention Diablo 2 because I feel like everyone's played Diablo 2 for action RPGs. There's also Aranova, which I want to show you guys all of the skills, like in terms of like changing them too. So instead of I shot over here for the modifier of, like, let's say volley, we can do this one, and it shoots it in the air, and then it kind of, it's almost like a star pattern. I've never liked that, but I'm just trying to show you guys all of the different varieties. Oh, and also it's something I definitely want to show you guys. So instead of pure support, let's level up this. So I'm going to show you guys an aura. So I'm going to put this on 8. So you'll see when I activate this, it reserves mana. That means that it's going to, 22 mana is locked that we will never get back. Like it reduces our maximum mana by that amount. In return, we get whatever it says. And we have this little aura, and you can see we have additional accuracy and critical strike chance. Now, the more we level this up, the more mana that it will reserve. So remember how I was saying before, 99% of the time you're going to want to level everything up. This could be an exception. Now, for our build, we can level it up a couple times, and we'll be fine. But there will come to a point where it's just sucking up too much mana. Let's grab this other mana flask, because right now we still need to use mana. Eventually, though, we won't need these mana flasks, and we won't need these life flasks. That's a red, green, blue link, so we can go ahead and convert that to a chromatic orb, which is going to be able to change the colors. Now these mana flasks will give us a little bit more, which is awesome. And let's go see what the reward is.
This should be quick.
Spark. It's a quality 13, which is like, I really don't care about it. I'll do it though. Frozen Pulse will explode. Shade Socks. You know what? I want to try this totem that costs. Where's this totem at though? Oh, it's right there. It's pretty visually like apparent. This still doesn't do anything for me.
Avoid the miasma. You can.
I like the animation that it does once you like finish and complete the thing. How it like kind of freezes the screen. It's just visually looks cool. That's another.
The expected choice.
That's another thing that we can't really make any use out of. Now, when you get a bunch of things of quality to equal up to a certain amount for, depending on what it is, you can do like a vendor recipe and actually gain something out of it. Basically another form of currency. So the vendors in this game aren't completely like useless like in some action RPGs. Like there are like special recipes that we'll show later in the play session here. But yeah, we're progressing very nicely here. I'm pretty satisfied with so far what we've done. We're going to be coming up to the end of the Act 1. There's 10 acts in this game. We're just going to go eliminate enemy over here. Get that all flame. Woo, we got an iron circle. Let's see if it's any good.
That would only slow me down.
What do we have here that's like unnecessary? Okay, we don't need this. Let's go see if this is going to be any better. We can stack these up to 40. Life per second. Now what does this grant us? And this one gives us cold res. We want cold res for something. For the boss. So now we got to go take the All Flame over to Mr. Fargraves. Oh, you know what? We can actually get his blink arrow too for mobility. What is this?
Plan to last longer than 2 rounds.
Let's just go skip it for now, unless it's something that I want. Later, the rewards will get better as you progress in the game. I usually don't like it when the league mechanic is something that you skip out in the very beginning because it just doesn't offer a good enough reward. But sometimes it happens. But if the reward is good enough, we'll go for it. All right, so next one up over here. Now we got 20% conversion. So we're at 80% because this already converts 60. And the last one over will be able to be...
As a gentleman of honor, it pains me greatly to do this. Hard times call for hard.
So we gotta get Fargraves down. Summons his army. That's pretty easy though. But yeah, like you can see, like I'm glad that we actually did die because it shows you guys that the game isn't like a face roll. I mean, like I'll face roll the campaign for the most part, but you know, sometimes there might be a boss, or because of the scaling on the
You were a good man in a bad situation, Fairgraves.
the ritual mechanic. Yeah, we just melted. Regen life, no cold res. I'll keep it though just to sell it. Actually, this is just a lot of room that I can just use this for. Actually, I can probably just be a little bit more efficient with my inventory. So we're gonna go ahead and now go back, get into the skill point, and we'll be good. All
Can't see
right.
why I'd want to do that here.
Still alive, are we?
Okay, so let's go ahead and talk to Bestel. Get another skill point. Awesome. And go talk to Nessa.
While we live, we are blessed.
And she'll give us a quest to go kill something. So we're gonna throw in all of the things that we've been saving just for extra currency. I don't need this either. I don't even know why I picked that up. Spark, we'll keep this for quality. I recommend keep all your quality stuff, regardless of what it is, and I'll kind of show you guys what we do with it. We gotta reach a certain amount before it actually matters, but just keep all the quality stuff. We'll go over it later. So with the skill point, yeah, you just pop it and get another skill point. Bam! Now we get increased cold damage with attack skills and that 20% of physical. Now, one thing that's cool with this, I told you guys we're gonna get some life. Type in the word life, and bam, I can see all the life nodes. Like I said, we can technically grab this now, but I kind of want to push out on the tree, granting this alley damage over here can be a thing, or we can go ahead and grab the herbalism, as we definitely want to get these jewel sockets for jewels. We would put in, and they'll be awesome. And also, we want to make our way over here because there's something called Lionized Falls, which, like, I'd say almost every build plays that's playing Ranger, because it's going to convert in a giant ring. It changes all of these claws modifiers to bow modifiers. So it's really cool. There's really unique things in Path of Exile that you don't see with other games. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and grab some of these just for extra life and sustain, and I also want to make my way over to this area over here, which will grant us extra damage with our bows, because we're going to be using bows. So yeah, we also got this. Let's go ahead and sell this as well.
Greetings.
Oh, there's also a glyph reward where you can go. Oh. Well, actually, you know what? When we do breaking the egg quest, I think he gives you this, but I just didn't see it, and I actually got it as a purchase, but it's fine. It's not a big of a deal. But there's also blink arrow that we can get.
Sharp out there.
So we'll go to Nessa, purchase items, go to blink. Anything that you get as like a reward, you can pretty much just buy. Or you can trade with people too. So we can go ahead and get blink arrow now. Bam. And we will use blink arrow. I like to have blink arrow on. Let's put this on R.
Can't see why I'd want to do that here.
Oh, there we go. Put this on R. And then I want right click to be blink arrow. There we go. I like to move very fast in my games earlier on, even though technically since I'm showing you guys how to play things, I'm kind of going way slower. But you know, it needs to be explained. Otherwise, you know, game's gonna be lost. Now I think getting more attack speed will make this feel so much better. But you can see basically what it does. It's really nice to get into certain areas that would be like, let's say, away from danger. Because in the very beginning, you know what? I don't even know if it's worth using. Because we don't have no attack speed, so it's just like, like it's got like that casting animation. And what we want to do is cut that out. Most people, I mean, dash is a newer skill that I want to say replaced it for most people. Hello, Mark. How you doing? What's happening? What's going on, Riv? So we're just pretty much coming up towards the end of the act over here. But the league's going okay. I like the mechanic. I wish there were some options to choose from because, you know, in the very beginning, like if I'm not playing someone with a wand, do I really want a wand? No, not so much. Now these are corrupted side areas. It has different modifiers, and you can get like a fall gem, which is like a kind of like a super skill. You know what? I think we should show it. It's kind of important, I'd say. So yeah, it'll have all the modifiers, but pretty much your goal is to get to the end. There will be a little thing you can click on. Oh, we're coming up to our first shrine too, so you just click on it. It'll grant you, like this is a lightning shrine, it's going to grant us that little lightning. Now we get it, although it's in a lot smaller circle, or radius. There we go, just melting.
One run closer to the
Got a
top of the food
vest over there. Click on this. So we'll get Vol, Blight, Rain of Arrows. There's a shield. Got some gauntlets. Okay, that are corrupted. So a corrupted item cannot be modified. Technically. Oh. Well, that's interesting. It's just corrupted with no ID. Okay. So. Okay. That's interesting. So let's see what this does. Okay. It does grant cold res, but I don't have the stats for it. So this over here, what are we using this for? Shrapnel? I could probably move that over if I need to. Anyways, because I'm not using Cobra Lash. I do need dash though. But anyways, so this grants us, let's see, what does this grant us? Absolutely nothing. Okay, so we could probably fit in dash somewhere. If we could fit dash in somewhere else. So I definitely want dash. Do I need precision? If I could put it somewhere else, that'd be awesome. I can do without precision for all these other stats of like increased life. It's small, but like, you know, extra accuracy rating. It can be okay. So we're gonna go ahead and go up from here, and then we'll get the life nodes. So yeah, Rain of Arrows. Where the heck is it? Rain of Arrows. So we can swap out if we want to. And just to show you the mechanic of it, I'm gonna miss the little shrapnel ballista. Actually, instead of what is it? Cobra Lash. We don't need this. Oh wait, we're fine. Oh wait, can we throw in precision still? Oh yeah, we're good. We're good. I don't know what I was thinking, so we're good. But I wanted to show you guys the Rain of Arrows. And where's our ice shot? So now we do this, and we got a little rain of arrows. But remember, some things don't work for certain things, so it's always good to mouse over. See, with rain of arrows, we got an X on it, so that's not going to even work with us. Since I'm scaling, I mean, this is probably going to hit, let's see, what does it hit for? You can also check the DPS. This right now is hitting for 35 DPS. Ice Shot hits for, I thought we had Ice Shot on. Is 125. A little bit higher numbers. But Rain of Arrows, I mean, it depends on like what you're going for. Even though the damage number could be more, it's not always 100% accurate. The reason why is because certain skills can overlap on like their AoE explosion or something like that. And in that aspect, yeah, the numbers will not always actually match up. But I did want to use this skill, if I can, for like the... So basically, as you charge up, there's going to be a Vol Rain of Arrows where it's going to fire 27 additional arrows. So it's a lot more. It's going to cover like more of the screen. However, it has like a charge use, so it takes time for it to build up. But I figure I'd at least show you guys like, you know, the other skills that we're getting and stuff. Just so you guys have it for the variety. What build are we going to go for? Well, you know what? I want to try out all the new skills. Right now, we're just going to go Ice Shot because, one, it's super easy and it's super safe. And let's see if we got another upgrade here. So we have... oh, we had that's a lot more lightning damage. That could be really nice. So, oh, this actually grants us +1 level. Okay. That's not bad, but... I really want the precision. I want all of it, but I also want to run the 3 to 34 extra lightning damage because, hey... Like, for me, how I play Path of Exile when there's new league, I try out every new skill. Every new skill. Because, like, you never know when, you know, there's something else that you might want to try out. So, I love it. I encourage everyone to try, like, you know, the new skills. But sometimes people are like, I want to play this one build, and they play it every single league. Hey, that's cool too, man. You do whatever makes you happy, because it's a PvE game at the end of the day. There is technically PvP in this game, but I would probably not say that that's a main focus of why people play Path of Exile even in the first place. So what's our cold res? We can go to defense. Our cold res is 9%, which I would say is pretty poor. So if you guys want an easy experience on the boss, you can get a lot of cold resistance. Are we gonna get it? No. Why? Because I feel like we should be able to handle it. I'll regret that decision maybe later. But because we have very high mobility, I feel relatively confident. But she has a couple phases, so she's not going to be the easiest boss. So all I gotta do is watch out for the little like things that she shoots out.
My mana is gone.
Ooh, she hitting kind of hard. But she's gonna get in her angry mode.
I'm not up to that just yet.
So don't stand where there's those little like water tornadoes. But like I said, because I was relatively mobile, I decided, against getting cold res. But if you're playing melee, hey, you probably want that cold res, to be honest. But she's actually quite tough. They actually buffed up like all the bosses. In fact, for a lot of people, this is one of the most tough boss fights in the game. Like one of them. The reason why is because eventually you'll be able to buy items and like with in-game currency. What I mean by buy items, by the way, is like trading for items. But you can get things that, like, you know, you'll be able to scale the game and go out of control speeds for sure. But this is like, you know, in the very beginning, you don't really have that much stuff. So that's why it's considered one of the hardest boss fights for some people. It actually is, though, like, to be honest. Compared to, like, a lot of the content, if you have the right gear and you know what you're doing, it's just because in the very beginning, you don't got very much. And there we have it.
Your
She's
love
dead.
for a man. That's what did this to you, Mervale.
So we got, I don't think there's really anything here that we can really make great use out of, because the other bow that we have is a lot better. Unless there was like a nice linkage of like 3 greens. But now we're going to the Southern Forest. But we're going to go ahead and get to the next town, which will be the next act over here. And so now we're going to be entering Act 2. But this is pretty much going to wrap things up for this act. And in terms of like part 2 of our little play session, usually I do like part 1, 2, and 3, but this is just Ice Shot. I've already covered this. But in this video, we did get to see the new League mechanic, and you can pick up right where we left off in the next video, depending on where you want to go ahead and start off your playthrough. I'll put all like the parts for whatever gameplay that you guys want to experience. And it's pretty much going to be at the same. We might be like 1 or 2 levels difference. We might have another skill that's, you know, linked in or thing, but, you know, depending on how you want to play, you don't always have to use the same exact gems that I'm using. Do what you want to do. You can definitely swap up, like, you know, whatever support gem that you liked. If you liked that Rain of Arrows, hey, use that skill. I'm just gonna tell you as heads up, Ice Shot is very hard to beat until you get like Tornado Shot in terms of like being effective. Yeah, the reason why is Ice Shot just scales very, very well. You get flat numbers on it too. I think it's just really, really good overall. And also Toxic Ring got nerfed, which is another popular like bow uplist. Ooh, we got triple.
That would only slow me down.
Triple links, which is good. This I was using, I think, for this I probably was using for that as well. But the reason why I want this is just because of the linkage, because I'm gonna throw in a essence and just get like some random modifiers, see if we're gonna be getting something that's better than this, because this is something I want to use, but I just don't have the correct colors to move the Shrapnel Ballista, and I like having the Shrapnel Ballista because it basically gives us a pet, in a sense, that can take damage for us. But right now, we're in Act 2, and we completed Act 1. We did the Ascendancy Trial. There's Ascendancy Trials here, which they'll be in the other videos on, like, what are the important quests. But, yeah, this is going to basically wrap things up for Path of Exile for new players' guide over here. And in terms of the other currency, the Armorer's Rep, you might have gotten these things called whetstones. You really want to save these until like a couple acts later down the line, unless you get like a really good item. So what this is going to do is like, I'll waste these here. So this, you can see the evasion rating 107. I put this in, it goes to 108. Increases the stats of it. Is it really necessary? No, absolutely not in the very beginning. Now going over the chromatic orb, that just changes the colors on this. Now with the corrupted item that we got inside of that little Vol side area, these cannot be modified. Now you technically can modify them later through crafting, but that's way towards the end of the game. So that's going to be, you know, what that does. Now the alteration grants different modifiers on a magic item. So this item over here, we have the +1 socketed bow gems and dexterity. Let me actually show you this. This is actually kind of important. So this would be a good example. Like this, I don't care about the minion, right? So like I throw this on here, changes it to be 100% increased when on low life. Hey, that could be a benefit. That it just changes a blue item. By the way, flasks cannot be yellow, like as in rare. They can't be unique though. We haven't gotten any unique items. In fact, it's kind of not very common to get a unique item. But I also want to show you guys some other websites that I will be linking. So for like the vendor system of like, I showed you guys how to get one chromatic orb. That's the blue, green, and red. When they're all linked, you can get one of these. There's a lot of these vendor recipes, and I will go ahead and actually show these on screen right now, real quick. So this one over here, you can see it's just the vendor recipe system. There's so many of these. I definitely recommend you guys to check that one out as well. Now for the trials, which are going to be recommended for you guys to do while you go through the act, it'll tell you exactly where these are. But I will also have them in like the video guides as well. Now in terms of the skill points, basically the important skill quests, we already did the ones in Act 1 over here. But again, I would say it's probably a good idea to do most of the quests in the very beginning. And throughout the playthrough, you'll see us will also engage in trading and a lot of other mechanics. But just going over like a brief little like rundown of the other things here. So you can upgrade a normal item to a magic item. I actually want to upgrade this one to a rare one. Now, an Orb of Alchemy, this will take it from being a white item to a rare item, which will have pretty much, at the end of the day, it's more modifiers, but there are certain times where things can be a little bit different. But for the most part, it's going to make your item yellow and have basically more stats. But going over the silver coin, you can go to Navali, and it's going to seek a prophecy. So you can do seek prophecy. You see that coin in inventory? It's going to pop, go away, and basically just something will happen when you play the game. But this will drop a unique item when we slain it. So we're going to track down a powerful devourer, which I believe in this game looks like a scorpion for the skin, and we're going to get something. Basically, if you get these silver coins, you can sell them, or you can talk to her. What do I recommend? Honestly, I think it's kind of fun to see these little interactions, so I recommend just do them. However, if you do want to min-max and to get certain items, you can sell it for like Orbs of Alchemy. Depending on the ratio, there's lots of different trade websites. One website that I do like for a lot of different things is going to be called PoE.ninja. So this is a really good website. Just in case any of you guys want like a build, I really recommend you guys to check out this website. It's going to have a lot of the builds. Now, right now we are in the Ultimatum League. Now, to give the league some time, you need to give basically I would say maybe 2 days. And in 2 days, people will basically min-max out pretty good. But if you want to, you can go back to the old Ritual League. And let's say you really found a skill that you liked, right? Like, you know, in our case, we're using Ice Shot, right? So we can type in Ice Shot, and you can see all of the builds with Ice Shot, and you can see the maximum amount of DPS, or you can also see what's called the depth. It's not necessarily like a greater riff in Diablo, but it is kind of a good measurement, because if you go to the top DPS builds, sometimes people will have like basically no HP and they'll die very, very fast, but they want to be on the leaderboard for it. So at least some sort of other forms of measurement you should also take into consideration. Can this build actually survive? And you can click on it and it's going to show you everything that they use. So it's perfect for you guys, and it'll show you their entire skill tree. Now, it shows you in a kind of a weird format. Like for me, I can understand this. However, if you click link to passive skill tree, it'll show you exactly what it has. Now, some of these items will be very, very expensive. So if you don't get some of these items, or you can't get them for a while, it's totally okay. It's part of the progression. But if you click on this, it'll open up like the Path of Exile skill tree that was basically the same one in game. But this is a great website to check out. And also for the economy, you can see the currency prices of one of these equals how many of these. Like for example, those little Orbs of Alchemy, 6 of them equals 1's Orb of Chaos right now. And if you want to go to trading, that's something we'll cover later down the line in some of the other parts of the videos. But this is a great website to go ahead and use. There's PoE.trade. There's so many. And I'll try to link a bunch of different websites that are really good for some of you guys to kind of learn where to go to understand how much is this worth? What is this worth? Because there's so many other mechanics to the game that will be shown later off. But that's going to basically cover like the basics of Path of Exile. I know it's a long video, but trust me, you have to have someone to help you with this game. It's not a game where you can hop in and just like learn. You have to have some sort of guide or something to help you out. Whether you decide to watch more of my videos or someone else's, you need to watch more. Otherwise, you're going to go in and you're going to get lost. But I promise you, the game is worth it if you follow someone's like beginner guide. But you can continue watching mine with Ice Shot. You can continue watching mine if you decide to go melee. Hey, it's all there for you guys. But anyways, that's going to go ahead and wrap things up. If you guys enjoyed the video, want to see more, check the pinned comment. There's a bunch of links for you guys to go ahead and check out. If you've enjoyed it, drop a like on it. And if you're new and want to see more Path of Exile content, as I do plan to upload more relatively soon, it's not going to be like the next part of this guide, but the next part of this guide is basically the same like I mentioned before. It will be pinned down there in the pinned comments, where we go to Act 2, 3, 4, all of it. It's several hours long, and enjoy. But anyways, it will be there in the pinned comment. But thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next video. Have a good one. And I am signing out. Peace.